History is often written by the victors, but it was forged by the elite. In an era where wars were settled by cold steel and raw nerve, every great civilization had its secret weapon. A unit so disciplined, so brutal, and so skilled that their mere arrival on the field could end a conflict before it began. Today, we aren't just looking at regular soldiers. We are looking at the 1% of the ancient military world. From the deserts of Persia in 500 BC to the brutal Agoge system of Sparta and the hidden temples of Tenochtitlan, we will explore their training, their legendary leaders like Leonidas and Montezuma II, and the specific battles that turned these men into myths. Grab your gear. These are the 5 most elite warrior units of the ancient world. Our journey begins in the heart of the Achaemenid Empire, specifically during the reigns of Cyrus the Great and Xerxes I. Known as the Amurtaka in Old Persian, the Immortals were the ultimate power move by the Persian kings. The legend of the number. As documented by the Greek historian Herodotus, this unit was kept at an exact strength of 10,000 men. If a soldier died, was wounded, or fell ill, a replacement was immediately stepped in. To an outsider, it looked as if the unit never suffered casualties. They were, quite literally, immortal. The gear, they didn't wear the heavy bronze of the Greeks. Instead, they wore scale armor hidden under vibrant, flowing silk robes. They carried wicker shields, short spears, and bow cases. They were the masters of combined arms, softening you with arrows before finishing you with the spear. Key battle. While they fought across the world, their most famous moment was at the Battle of Thermopylae in 480 BC. When the regular Persian infantry failed to break the Greeks, Xerxes sent in the Immortals. It was only through a mountain path betrayal that they finally bypassed the Spartan wall. The Sacred Band of Thebes, ancient Greece, 378 BC to 338 BC. In the 4th century BC, the city-state of Thebes decided to challenge the military dominance of Sparta. To do this, a commander named Gorgidas created the most unique unit in history, the Sacred Band, the psychology of love. The unit consisted of 150 pairs of male lovers. The logic was profound. A man would never flee or act cowardly while his beloved was watching. He would rather die than see his partner harmed or be shamed in his eyes. The leader, under the brilliant General Pelopidas, the Sacred Band became the spearhead of the Theban army. The turning point, at the Battle of Leuctra in 371 BC, they did the unthinkable. They charged the Spartan right wing, the most elite part of the Spartan line, and crushed it. This ended centuries of Spartan invincibility. The end of an era. Their story ended at the Battle of Chaeronea in 338 BC. Facing the 18-year-old Alexander the Great and his father, Philip II of Macedon, the Sacred Band refused to retreat. They were killed to the last man. Philip II reportedly wept at the sight of their bodies, praising their bravery. The Jaguar Warriors, Aztec Empire, 14th to 16th century. Deep in the jungles of Mesoamerica, the Aztecs built a society based entirely on war. At the top of this hierarchy were the Ocelotl, the Jaguar Warriors. The trial of entry. You couldn't just join the Jaguars. A commoner had to capture at least 4 enemies alive during a battle. The goal wasn't to kill, it was to provide sacrifices for the sun god, Huitzilopochtli. The weapon, the Macuahuitl. This wasn't a sword, it was a club made of oak with razor-sharp obsidian blades embedded in the sides. Archaeologists confirm that obsidian can be sharpened to a molecular level, sharper than a modern scalpel. It could decapitate a man or a horse in a single swing. The leader, Montezuma II, the last great Aztec emperor, was himself a member of this elite warrior class before taking the throne. The context: they fought flower wars, ritualized battles designed specifically to capture high-ranking elites from enemy cities like Tlaxcala. The Praetorian Guard, Roman Empire. Founded by Augustus Caesar, the Praetorian Guard was the only armed military unit allowed within the city walls of Rome. The role, originally designed as personal bodyguards for the emperor, they quickly became the Kingmakers. They were recruited from the best veterans of the Roman legions. The power players. A famous figure was Sejanus, the Praetorian prefect, who nearly stole the throne from Emperor Tiberius. The guard eventually became so powerful, they assassinated emperors like Caligula in 41 AD, and even auctioned the entire Roman Empire to the highest bidder, Didius Julianus. The equipment. They were the best equipped soldiers in the world. They wore the lorica segmentata, plated armor, and carried the scutum, oval shield. While the legions fought on the frontiers, the Praetorians stayed in Rome, enjoying high pay and political influence until Constantine the Great finally disbanded them in 312 AD after the Battle of the Milvian Bridge. The Spartan Hoplites, Sparta. There is no unit more synonymous with war than the Spartans of Lacedaemon, the Agoge. From age 7, boys were taken to the Agoge. They were forced to walk barefoot, sleep on reeds, and were intentionally underfed to encourage them to steal. If they were caught stealing, they were beaten for being sloppy, not for the theft. This created a man who knew no comfort and feared no pain. The legend: King Leonidas and his 300 Spartans at the gates of Thermopylae. Though they lost the battle, their stand allowed Greece to unite and eventually defeat Persia. The tactics: the phalanx, a wall of bronze shields called the aspis, overlapping to create an impenetrable barrier. Their main weapon was the dory, a 2 to 3 meter spear. The law: a Spartan mother's famous parting words to her son: "Come back with your shield or on it." Surrender was not an option in Spartan culture.